going to be How's It Hanging, How's It Happen? You guys know this is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast, the podcast that Rolling Stone says initiates profound discussions with rock and metal artists, allowing them to discover the creative workflow of their favorite musicians and understand the factors that make the band succeed or fall from fame. We are also sponsored by Dark Fusion Systems, the best for your custom computing needs. So you can get $100 off your entire release code CPPOD at Dark Fusion Systems. The comment description of the podcast below. Now let's go to our feature presentation. I've been wanting to bring one of these guys in the podcast for a long time, as you can tell by my shirt, but it's not even with this band. So today we're going to be talking with Matty Mullins and Christian from the band Anberlin. We're going to go over how Matty got to join the band, how this was a good amount of time in the making, and of course, how Anberlin is still Anberlin, and this is just a whole brand new chapter, and my God, you're gonna love it. So let's have some fun. You guys ready? Let's go! Yeah! Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. If you have been in the alternative music scene or anything in the rock scene since the year 2000, this is a band you are absolutely going to know. And even better right now, if you are in the metalcore scene, you're going to know one of the brand new members of this band because he loved this band as a kid and now he gets to actually front them with a brand album called Vega coming out, a compilation of their Silverline and Convinced EP with 2 brand new songs from that guy right next to me, probably right there. Let's talk to them all about it. So please welcome Christian and Matty from the band Anberlin to the podcast. So guys, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
What's up, man? Thanks for having us.
It is a pleasure having you guys. Right now, I know you guys are out on the road performing a whole bunch of dates live, I believe, with Hawthorne Heights. So right now, how is all of that going right now?
It's going swimmingly, honestly. Like it always takes like a week or two to get your legs under you as a tour and even as a touring individual. But
yeah,
I feel like we've kind of hit our stride and everything's feeling great. We're here in West Virginia. We got a actual West Virginia is for Lovers date here tomorrow. So a bunch of bands are going to join us at this arena that we're at.
Yep.
Sounds like a fun time. I know that they've been putting on those Is for Lovers Fest for a couple of years now. It seems like they just keep growing every year from here on out. And now that you guys are on it, it just kind of makes perfect sense to have you on that build and get back out in front of so many other fans, especially, post-pandemic. And now with Matty fronting the band, it just kind of makes sense.
It does. I mean, this is the most touring we've done since 2014. So, we reformed in 2019. Did a handful of touring that year, but like you're saying, post-COVID, it's been kind of failure to launch. That's partly why this guy's here, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, dude, it's been a good one, and the actual festival dates that are sprinkled in are going to be huge. We've got Under Oath flying in tonight. Actually, we're going to do a big barbecue with them, but they're headlining tomorrow. I think the show is going to be pretty sick. So.
Now, my question for you, Matty, is with the big barbecue with Under Oath, are you doing the cooking? Because I've seen you do a lot of barbecue on your Instagram page, and it just seems like it's right up your alley.
Yeah, it's Man in the Grill is kind of a one-man job, and it turns out that our bass player, Dion, loves to grill as well. So I will be around to help him out, but if anything, just try to stay out of his way.
That makes sense. You don't want to have too many cooks in the kitchen or too many grill masters going in there. You don't want to have like a backseat griller trying to say, turn this, turn that, got to do this. Cause
yeah.
That's when
and he's having fun with it. We just got a new Traeger out here and everything. So I'm just going to let him rock and sit back and just do some relaxing.
Okay. Now you're making me jealous, and you're making me jealous of Under Oath as well, that this barbecue is going to happen. A brand new Traeger. My God, making me hungry, man. Jesus Christ.
Come on over to Charleston, West Virginia. We'll get you some pork tenderloin.
I'm not sure if I'm able to drive there that quickly. I'm here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so it's going to take me a while to get out there. I've done the drive before, but that's like a 9-hour drive. If I left now, I'd be out there by midnight.
Yeah, no doubt. Were you at the Milwaukee show?
I unfortunately wasn't because I was busy that day, because I know you guys played Summerfest, but I know you're making your way up to Green Bay sometime later in August, and that's the perfect time to see Anberlin play.
Awesome. Yeah, it'll be cool.
So I got my legs under me. I can travel too. And I got a nice car that goes vroom, vroom. But now I want to jump to this because, Matty, I remember right when Walk Alone came out, you posted a video that had your picture from like your sophomore year of high school wearing an Anberlin t-shirt. And now you're fronting the band. So how did you get to this position where you can front one of your favorite bands from when you were a kid?
I just had to get them to believe enough lies about their old singer that they'd be willing to kick him out. And then I weaseled my way in there. So it's going well. No, dude, it's crazy. I mean, what's really ironic about it is that although Christian and I have, Steven and I have, a mutual respect for each other, before he asked me to join, I had only spent maybe a total of 15 minutes with him ever. Like I went out to Furnace Fest and did a guest vocal with them. And then Steven was at a Warped Tour date and hung out on the bus for like, 15 minutes. But I think that, just kind of seeing me on social media and me seeing him and everything, I think that more than anything probably was what sparked the interest to pick me. But yeah, I mean, it came as a total surprise. I was sitting in my studio and working on Memphis stuff and got a text from him and he's like, "Hey, do you want to sing for this band?" And it was crazy. And then from there, Christian and I had met a couple times and this whole thing started like a long time ago. We were on phone calls every single day trying to like work out details. Like the show that you're seeing right now was not an accident by any means. Like it's been a long time coming. We got new music on the way, the whole nine. So it's a whole thing. It's a full blown band. I've got 2 of them now.
Yeah, you're a busy guy, man, because I know right after the Anberlin tour is over, you're going out on tour with Memphis and going on with Asking Alexandria and Word Alive again, which is insane that you're putting in all this work, but especially after listening to Walk Alone, and then, of course, the other new song you guys got coming out with the brand new album with you on it called 7, you're going to see more of what, the band is going to really be, especially Matty with you fronting it. So now when it came to writing these new songs specifically, because now with Matty on vocals, both from Matty, your perspective, and Christian, your perspective, what was it like writing and really working on these together to make that Anberlin sound come out with a brand new flavor as well?
Like you said, the record is the 2 EPs combined together. And the plan was always to add some new songs to that. Obviously, adding Matty into the mix kind of changed the discussion a little bit. But I think even going into it, there was no real solid plan of like, oh, this is only going to be Matty. Actually, I think we initially were like, we'll try and get both singers on the songs. But once Matty tracked to it and truly looking forward to our future, it just made more sense to just have him be the vocalist. He freaking killed it and just sent his vocals like completely finished to us while we were tracking in Tampa. So it was just an amazing process and just professionally done. It was so sick.
Yeah, I think the dynamic that inside this band, I think is probably the opposite of what people think it is. I'm sure that there is the assumption that I would come into the picture and try to make the band heavier. It's quite the opposite, where growing up on Anberlin and being such a big fan of them and of their, poppier side, I am kind of pushing in that direction while the rest of the guys are like, but let's make it heavy, So it's funny how it all worked out, but I think there's a really cool mixture. And 7, that song is a completely different flavor. I mean, I don't think that Anberlin has ever done anything even remotely close to that.
No.
So that's going to be a really exciting one. And then there's all sorts of cool stuff in the works, man. So it's a constant work in progress is this truth. We're just kind of learning each other and seeing how, magic on this side and magic on this side can make something really beautiful in the middle. So
something that Anberlin really has never tried before and something that's a brand new flavor was 7. I mean, if you could have teased it any better, I don't know how you would have done it. That was absolutely perfect. But when I found out, especially Matty, that you were going to be fronting Anberlin and just seeing the fact that you were been such a big fan of the band since, were young, what really convinced me on that was exactly what the band has been. What the band has meant to you. You've been such a part of this where bringing you on vocally and then having you be able to work on music with them, what the style is. So that you're going to be able to bring out that sound in a brand new side just because brand new vocalist, able to, play on your different strengths. But at the same time, when it comes to the overall sound, you have so much respect for it. You have so much inspiration by it where you're going to be able to absolutely right in the headspace and collaborate with these guys as best as possible while still keeping it, differentiated from what you do with Memphis. And everything that comes out of it absolutely hits, because I still remember going back through the Walk Alone video and looking through all the comments. And there are a lot of people that were just like happy to see that Steven was in the video in a couple of different spots. But the biggest comments I saw was like, this is going to be a different thing for Anberlin with a new vocalist, but you have someone that absolutely knows the band, loves the band, respects the band, that's fronting them. So you're still going to get that absolute passionate sound, and there's not going to be an absolute change to the core like sometimes happens. So I got to give you a lot of credit for that.
No, dude, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think, I knew from the jump that being a new singer in a legacy band, such an established band, that there is going to be a ton of hate on the internet. And honestly, we embrace it. And it doesn't upset me at all. I was just kind of thick skinned. I'm like, let's just go for it. But what does upset me is comments that make the other guys feel like they never even had a part in the band. It's like, it's either Steven or it's not Anberlin. It's like, no, these other four dudes have dedicated their entire life to creating what as Anberlin, the flavor. I mean, the riffs and, just Nate's crazy style of drumming and insane live performance. So the whole thing, this is very much Anberlin, whether I'm in the picture or whether Steven's in the picture. And the other four guys in this band just deserve a lot more credit than what they get in those comments.
I think that goes for almost every single band too that's out there, just because the focus is so heavily in either the lead singer or if there's a specific person in the band that has that unique sound, unique tone to them, whether it's instrumentally, on the drums, whatever it might be, that just stands out so much that fans end up latching onto it. And with Anberlin, it end up happening with them latching on to Steven. But of course, again, you listen to Walk Alone and you can tell it's Anberlin. You can tell it has that absolute sense and flavor to it. So when it comes to right now, when it comes to, Christian, when it comes to you, when it comes to the other guys like Dion and Joe, it just makes sense where everything comes forward and is going to be exactly what you hope it is and the next step of the band. Because if you want the band to stay in that one box that you want to put them in because maybe you grew up and you liked them at a specific time in life, just go back to the old stuff and listen to it. But embrace what's coming next, because then one of your favorite bands can continue to grow, continue to make great music. And who knows, you might find something in there that you absolutely fall in love with because you're in a brand new headspace in life. You're in a new spot in time. Just enjoy it, man. Just enjoy it.
Yeah. Well said.
Oh, I've dealt with that plenty of times on this podcast with other bands, and it absolutely stands out. And when it came to Walk Alone too, I really, really liked what you guys did with it because it has this flavor of just weird positivity to it where even when things are not going well, and it's how the instrumentals work, how the build comes from a little bit lower style in the chorus and all this, or verses, excuse me. Then when you get to the chorus, it has this feeling of hope. And of course, Matty, with your vocals on it too, it adds to that sense of hope as well. Just that, when we go forward in life, we're not alone with certain things. When we're down and out and things aren't going our way, we have people we can turn to really find that passion. And the way you guys wrote everything on this song, how the instrumentals progress, the vocals, the way that everything comes together, it really gives that feeling that you're never alone and there's always hope and you can always bank on that.
That's awesome, man. That's exactly what we were looking for. So it's good to hear.
Oh, you guys nailed it. And when it comes to a live setting, because now, of course, Matty, you're up there playing live, but when it comes to live setting specifically for Walk Alone, how are people reacting to it now that you've been able to play it live for, I want to say, about a month now?
I've been surprised. Hasn't even been a month yet. And you can definitely tell there's people in the crowd that don't spend a lot of time on social media that didn't even know about this singer change happening. And I'll walk out and they're like, wait a minute, he's so much shorter than I remember. But there's the other part of the crowd that was either really excited to hear the new stuff or maybe skeptical until they heard it live or whatever. And you can see all the eyes in the crowd light up during that tune. People really love it. And there's a whoa sing along part at the end of the song. And I throw the mic out and it's loud, dude. It's crazy. Like people are definitely digging the song. And, we were even just talking internally and Walk Alone is out streaming anything that Anberlin has done in a long time. So people are there. People are listening. People are paying attention. And we're just putting on the best show that we can.
So now, Christian, how do you feel about this now that, touring the most you've toured since 2014, seeing these fans light up not only with the new stuff, but also light back up with all the stuff that you guys have been playing for so long and just having this hit of like nostalgia for these fans, but then also the new stuff as well. What's it been like for you?
It's been great. I mean, honestly, since we reformed, there was only one, I would say, normal year, which was the year we reformed, right? And then it was COVID. And seriously, since COVID, it's just been failure to launch for our business because Steven just was not able to tour. And that's really how you do business these days. You tour to release records and promote the music you make. Making records in and of itself is not like the actual lucrative thing. So it's been tough for the past 2 years, just kind of live in limbo and kind of feel like you're just walking in circles. And this year just feels so different that, like you said, we've been planning on this and working on this for almost 2 years now at this point, I think, a year and a half at least. So to me now at this point where we are pushing forward, we're like finally getting to the plans we've been laying and seeing them unfold and things going in the direction that you really want them to go. It just feels really great. I tell the dudes every day how happy I am. It hasn't felt this way in a long time, and it wouldn't be unless for Matty, you know what I mean? Like if he wasn't here, I don't know what we'd be doing, so I'm very grateful and thankful for everything that's happening right now.
I think both of the attitudes that both of you have along with the rest of the band as well, especially if they mimic what you're feeling, Christian, just absolutely is going to keep you guys going and keep you guys growing once again, because you guys are taking this head on. You have, the failure launch because of COVID, everything after that. But now that you're back out on it, you're back out growing, and a whole album coming out to really get people the EPs once again and the new songs with Matty. It allows everybody to, rediscover Anberlin, whether they've been old fans that are, just coming back to the band, or new fans that are like, I got to go check this out now. And it's going to offer those periods of time where, you guys can continue to grow. You can continue to expand this sound overall and really see where this next chapter of Anberlin can really go. And you never know what might happen. Before you know it, you're going to be booking festivals once again, like the Danny Wimmer Presents ones with Anberlin, and people are going to be able to come out and check it out in droves and really get that feeling of either nostalgia from what they remember, or that feeling of brand new, emotional, just fantastic feelings when they get to see you guys play live.
Nice. Yep. I'm manifesting that, man. I'm seeing it in real time happen right now. I mean, we're already looking towards next year, and we know with some of the offers that are coming in. So it just feels great to have that forward momentum, and to, like I said, we set goals, and to feel like you're moving towards those goals just feels very accomplishing.
It absolutely has to, especially after the last couple of years. And I cannot wait to see what you guys do next year, and of course going forward as well. So even going forward beyond this, is there anything you potentially tease for us as like what you might be up to? Any new music beyond the release of the new album in a couple, and beginning of August, I should say, because I'd say a couple of weeks, but it's probably up and coming real soon. So
we've got a bunch of heaters in the clip already. So a bunch of new songs. I mean, next year is the 20th anniversary of Never Take Friendship Personal. So we've got a lot of things in motion for that. Obviously we have to coordinate with Matty and his team and management. I mean, this dude's just a workhorse and a road dog. So I don't want to kill him, but definitely trying to set up plans for next year, touring around that album release and celebrating that record, and continue releasing music together. And, we're writing the script as we go, but I really like the story so far, to be honest.
Yeah, same. It's very cool, man. There's a lot that people don't know about yet that is part of the overall excitement in our camp that we feel every single day. So it's cool. It feels like we know Christmas is coming and nobody else does. It's going to be awesome.
So keeping it a mystery, but showing the excitement behind it. Now you've got me a little jealous of the fact that I don't know exactly what's going on, because you guys know Christmas is coming. I'm still sitting here thinking, is it going to be Christmas? It's like March and it's still raining and gray outside. Come on, open up the skies for me a little bit.
It makes it more of a surprise for you. You'll appreciate it more.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know what? You're absolutely right on that, because if we know what's coming, then we can plan for it. And then the anticipation just doesn't, it takes away from the joy that might happen when we're just, surprised with it. Kind of like, when Walk Alone was released, it was people just weren't sure exactly what to expect. And so many people end up taking to it so positively. And that's the kind of positive surprise you need in life, especially when, there's other things in life that are constantly trying to bring us down. It's music like this, not only what you guys are making, but so many other artists that are bringing that positivity back to our lives every single day.
Thank you.
That's the plan.
Now, I know you guys got to get going, but I've got one more question I want to ask you. It's something I like to ask every single artist I have on the podcast, because it helps us to get to know more about the music you love and get to discover many new bands. So that between the two of you, can you guys name me 3 bands or artists that you love that you would love to see more people get into?
Oh, boy.
I have one that is just absolutely rocking my world right now. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not. A long time ago, like a decade ago, Gary Busey's daughter, Electra, came out to our show, and she had a friend with her, and her friend was a little quiet, maybe a little shy. I'm not sure, but didn't really get to know her at all, but we had definitely met, and she had hung out that night. Fast forward to right now, I'm hearing these songs every time I'm scrolling through my feed and I'm like, what is this? This is insane. And so I go and I do a little deeper dive, and she is the singer of this band. They're called Rivals. And I think melodically, she's one of the most exciting things happening right now, and nobody really knows it yet. She's definitely developing a fan base for sure, but I think that band has an absolutely massive, massive future.
That is a great pick. I know they just played Milwaukee maybe last month, and of course I was busy the day they played, so I was a little disappointed that I couldn't go see the show, but I know a lot of people that are getting into that band as well, so that is a fantastic pick.
They are great. What about you?
I mean, I almost exclusively listen to like extreme metal, so I can't really. Most of those bands are unknown unless you listen to that genre. So I wouldn't really be like, yo, go listen to Gadget or something like that. It's like grindcore, you know what I mean? Like if you're into that scene, you probably already know them. And if you're not, you probably wouldn't listen to them anyway. So those would be my recommendations.
Go check them out.
Gadget.
That's perfect. You guys got one more for me?
Yeah. Nate Vickers is an Instagram personality, TikTok personality, unbelievable voice, and is known for his covers that he does with his acoustic guitar and just like him and his a guitar and vocal. But we've become friends over the recent months, and he showed me all of the new original stuff that he has coming out, and it's very exciting to say the least. That kid is going to be an absolute massive success for sure.
Honestly, I certainly hope so too, because I've seen Nate Vickers, I think it was do something with Echo recently. Yeah. I've been getting into Echo a little bit more after seeing him perform live with From Ashes to New and bringing him to the podcast as well. So I love hearing these suggestions, no matter how new they are, no matter how established they are, because it just opens up our world to get to know much more about the great music that's coming or the great music that we've missed.
Yeah, must have.
So we're not letting it miss. But guys, as we bring this episode to its conclusion, one thing I like to do is give my guests, which is both of you, a chance to say whatever you want to say, plug whatever you want to plug, promote whatever you want to promote at the end of the episode. So guys, floor is yours.
Christian just woke up. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Anberlin, Vega is coming out. So excited for everybody to hear 7. It's something that we have been proud of as a band for a while now, just like sitting on it, knowing it's there. We'll see you guys at When We Were Young festival. We might even have something else for you by then. We'll see. And yeah, Memphis just put out a new song called Paralyzed. If you like heavy music, check it out. And we're barbecuing in West Virginia today. So come hang out if you're in the area.
Again, super jealous. I'm not going to be able to make it to West Virginia in time. I'd love to get me some barbecue.
Yeah, based on the quality of the roads during the drive last night, I didn't know if we were going to make it to West Virginia either. So happy to be here. Yeah.
Hey, the fact that you guys made it safe, that's what counts. And now it's time to close this podcast out with 3 specific things. First things first, the brand new album Vega by Anberlin with the brand new song 7 with Matty Mullins on vocals is coming out on August 2nd. So the best way to go and make sure you get the album, stream it, check it out live, get some merch, and follow along with them on social media. Go to description of the podcast below. It says Find Anberlin online. There'll be links and labels for everything there. So I'm going to be your own personal Google on this one. You just have to click on them and go. I've got you covered. Trust me on that. So go and do it. Now it's time for number 2. Guys, whenever I've guested the podcast, I enjoy it in the podcast. I tend to make a certain promise as a way to say thank you. I really appreciate it, and I want to continue to support the band any way I can. I might tweak this up because you guys got me thinking about barbecue right now. So when I get to see you perform live for the first time, and my plan is to do this at the show in Green Bay in August, I will find a way to come say hi to you guys, and first round's on me. Either drink or I might just bring some meat for you guys to grill.
Yeah,
we'll accept all gifts.
Yeah.
Perfect. To be like, here you go, guys. What do you got? Is it a drink? No, steaks.
It's meat.
That's awesome.
Just meat, just a good chunk of meat. Why not? And now it's time for number 3. So I cannot end this episode by saying goodbye because that is way too final. I made a promise to you, and I do not want this to be your guys' only time on the podcast. I would love to talk to you in the future. And Matty, I would love to talk to you once more Memphis stuff starts coming out, bring you back on and talk to you all about it because, dude, this was awesome. So
Most
I want to
definitely.
thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Can't wait to see you guys perform live. And on that note, I'll see you later.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Woo! Well, folks, I'm interview with Matty and Christian from Anberlin, and now it's time for Kevin's final thoughts. So, this is where I'm going to go with this. I remember this was last year, 2023, at Upheaval Festival. Memphis May Fire played, and after the show, Matty was on the side talking with people. I got a chance to talk to him for like a minute or so, and then my buddy Jarek yelled at him to potentially be on the podcast. I saw Matty smile, he talked to some more people, and then that was pretty much it. I knew at some point I was going to bring him on. I just had no idea it was going to be with Anberlin, and what absolutely astounds me with Anberlin is the fact that, you listen to the new music that they have, you listen to Walk Alone, and I cannot wait to see what happens with 7. But if you're a fan of the band, the guys that are in a band, the guys that are absolutely behind all of this, Christian, Dion, Joe, Nathan, they have been there for so long. They know exactly what they're doing, and they have the sound down to a T. So they're going to continue to make great Anberlin music and continue to be the focal point of what drives this band. Now with Matty in there, Matty's been a fan of this band for so long, where his love and respect for the band is something that is going to continually push forward with allowing them to do whatever the heck they feel like and allowing them to still create that great music without going way, way too overboard in a different sound, unless they really want to. I mean, that's absolutely a possibility. But honestly, Anberlin found the perfect person to bring in with Steven, leaving the band for however long Steven's going to be gone. Could be forever, could just be a couple years, who knows? But that this is something that this was planned, as they said, and going forward, this is going to be something where Anberlin's going to be a band that I said in the podcast during the interview that old fans are going to be reignited to love again, and new fans are going to discover and be like, oh my God, this is great. So this was awesome. I really appreciate it. I want to thank Matty and Chris for being on the podcast. When it comes to Anberlin, though, go to the podcast where it says Find Anberlin Online. Links, labels for everything, where you can see them live, where you can go and have a good time at a show, and also when the Vega album comes out on August 2nd. August 2nd. Yep. And be sure to subscribe to the Chord Progression Podcast right down here. Brand new episodes of the album brand new episodes of the show every single Tuesday and Thursday. And if you're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you get the same episodes as well. So go hit the follow button, hit the like button, all these episodes to help push in the algorithm. You can also go to description for our links and labels as well for social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I want to thank Christian for being on the podcast, and I want to thank Matty for being on the podcast. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. And on that note, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching and listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one of these episodes. The big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah!